Yo guys, and welcome back towards this new video here on the channel. On today's video, I've got a very quick emergency update for you guys out there. Bitcoin is currently creating a bear flag, and I don't really like this market structure right here. It is indeed typical bearish bias market structure. However, I will have a few things to say about this. So, if we're going to be breaking below of this support range, I think we're going to look a little bit more bearish, and Bitcoin could potentially come down a little bit more. Of course, this bounce is not the strongest bounce I've seen here, and the RSI has been climbing, pretty significantly. So I don't really like to see this bounce we're currently creating, and there's definitely a possibility where we're going to come down a little bit further. But this is a reason to sell off your trades. This is a reason to go short right here. No, I'm not shorting this market since the long to short ratio is still more leaning towards the short side. And what we do also know is once the market is looking the most bearish, we usually tend to reverse back up. And let me quickly explain this to you guys out there. So yeah, 1 hour time frame is looking bearish. We are expecting a movement towards the downside, and that is why also there are more short orders coming in right here. So let me quickly talk about this daily time frame, because actually on the daily time frame, yeah, we're basically also creating this bear flag, right? There's not a lot of people talking about it, but we are creating that bear flag over here. We came down massively, forming this flag towards the upside right here. A likely continuation is going to be towards the downside. And I personally think there is a very high probability that Bitcoin is going to create a movement towards the downside and then come up and shoot up very quickly. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Because once Bitcoin is looking the most bearish, it usually tends to reverse back up. Just look at the summer reversal. We came down massively, 70% towards the lower side. It was looking, we were forming lower lows, lower highs. It was looking that there was no end coming towards it. And what did we do? We moved up exponentially because the sell pressure eventually ran out, of course. Once again, over here, we are seeing similar structures. What makes me very, very interested right now for accumulating more Bitcoin is basically some on-chain information and also the dollar index. Do notice, every single Bitcoin bull market, basically every single Bitcoin run-up that we created is always being created against the dollar index. If the dollar index was trading on its highs, so the risk for accumulating Bitcoin was basically less, it has been always historically a good accumulation range. As well, if I'm going to zoom in, this is the weekly time frame towards the 1 day time frame. Look at how this market is currently performing. It is a little bit over exhausted on that higher side. And do know, very important information, if you are creating a bearish divergence, once the market is also overbought, it is a stronger divergence. So the dollar index is right now creating a bearish divergence. And do you remember this day over here, the 29th and the 30th of March? I can quickly show you that day, the 29th and 30th of March, that were these exponential days towards the upside because the dollar index moved down so significantly. So what do we learn from this chart? Once the dollar index moves down, Bitcoin moves up. Once the dollar index moves up, Bitcoin moves down. And right now the dollar index is indeed creating that bearish structure. And do note, still, if we're zooming out, we are trading at that low risk accumulation zone, what generally shows you a very good accumulation. Then as well, another very interesting thing to look at. And oh man, I think my face is not in front of it. I'm very happy with that. So what you can see right now on the right side of my face over here, supply, Bitcoin balance on exchanges is massively decreasing. So we can also look at the net position change, and we can see a massive amount of outflows is coming right now. And that is happening due to people accumulating, because this is basically suggesting there's a lot of accumulation going around from these larger players that are buying their Bitcoin from exchanges and withdrawing them. So what we do know, we have supply and demand, and the demand is growing like crazy, and the supply not, because we have only got 2 million Bitcoin left to mine. And what we can see in terms of the trend on the exchange balance, that there has been a very negative trend here. And it's, of course, I say negative, but it is positive for the Bitcoin price section, because there's less and less in available Bitcoin for people to buy. And you can see right now over here that we're falling massively. And this is once again another signal of huge accumulation. Just look at how much accumulation was going in front of this massive run-up. That's basically a signal that the market is about to be moving big. And once again, we're seeing the same amount of accumulations like the beginning of 2022, of course. So this has actually been pretty interesting to see here. And once again, coming back towards the daily time frame, we're seeing huge amounts of accumulation. We're seeing an extremely bearish pattern getting formed on the daily time frame. We're seeing a lot of short orders coming in. Is this really the time to be extremely bearish with that 13% inflation we're getting? And probably the numbers are not even correct. So we're having high amounts of inflation. Do you really think that this is the time to come down? Yes, the potential imminent short term can come down a little bit here. Don't be worried. Indeed, this is an update for everyone who is trading on the imminent short term. Bitcoin can come down a little bit here, but as well with my trade, I accumulated this trade, and right now I'm in a $3,000 loss. Do I care? No, I do not care at all, because this trade has been, I accumulated this trade because I accumulated the trade for the longer term. I accumulated the trade for average accumulation for Bitcoin. So, to be clear, if Bitcoin is going to come down towards $34,000, will I freak out? No, I won't freak out. No, I will be buying more, because what I'm doing with this trade, using very low leverage for accumulating more and more Bitcoin in this region, and then I will be, of course, make more and more money with it. So a lot of people are also saying, oh, Rover, you are trading on a testnet. You can see here on the top side of the screen, it is Bybit.com trade inverse perpetuals. So this is no fake money. You can also see here in my spot account, in my account, I deposited $150,000 in this account to purely trade and basically accumulate this this market. You can see on the top left side here, I currently got 3.6 Bitcoin in this account here. I lost $3,000. I am freaking okay with this. I got a fresh account. I deposited some money. I used my link in the description so I can also get that $4,800 deposit bonus, and I am accumulating with Forex leverage. I am accumulating in this market, and this is going to be a very interesting one. I am looking forward towards it. If the market does decide to return back towards the upside, I will be making a ton of money. If the market does come down here, I will be accumulating more, because this is a pyramid trading strategy. The further the market falls here, the more I will be accumulate to, of course, basically lower the risk here. So it is very interesting. If you're interested in that, check it out in the link description. The video is getting way too long. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.